A 67-year-old woman sat in my office crying, holding a sandwich bag full of hair she'd pulled from her shower drain that morning. Minoxidil, biotin, $90 serums, laser combs. She'd tried it all. Her scalp showed through under the lights. 3 years of a hat in every photo. Her labs told the truth nobody bothered to check. DHT through the roof. And in 6 years, not one doctor had tested it. Here's the enemy. DHT, dihydrotestosterone. After 50, your body pumps out more of it and your scalp turns more sensitive to it. It clamps onto your follicle, chokes off the blood supply, and shrinks the root smaller and smaller until the strand becomes invisible fuzz and the follicle dies. Permanently. Every month you wait, more follicles die that never come back. And every shampoo on the shelf rinses off in 20 seconds and never once touches the hormone doing the killing. I had her make 6 homemade creams on her scalp 4 nights a week. 7 weeks later, new growth pushing through a hairline her own dermatologist swore was dead in 2020. Confirmed on the scan. These creams block DHT right at the follicle receptor, strangle the hormone at the root, and feed the bulb the nutrients it needs to fire back to life. The $11 billion hair loss industry sells you bottles that never reach the cause. Your thinning hair is their repeat paycheck. Lock in for cream number 3 because it beat a leading prescription drug head-to-head in testing with 0 side effects. Every source is in the description below. Quick question before we dive in. How old are you and which corner of the world are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I read and reply to every single one myself. Now let's start with cream number 6, which cuts DHT binding at the follicle by 1/3, and your scalp drinks it in under a minute. Number 6, onion and raw honey scalp cream. Now I know what you're thinking. Onion on my head? Just hear me out because the science behind this one is wild. Onion juice is loaded with sulfur, and sulfur is one of the most critical building blocks of keratin, which is the protein that your hair is literally made of. When your body doesn't have enough sulfur available at the follicle level, it cannot build strong hair strands. It's like trying to build a brick wall without enough bricks. The structure gets weak, thin, and eventually falls apart. A clinical study published in the Journal of Dermatology back in 2002 tested onion juice on participants with patchy hair loss. After just 6 weeks of consistent application, 86.9% of participants showed significant hair regrowth. Compare that to the control group, where only 13% saw any improvement. That's a massive difference from something you can buy for less than $1. But raw onion juice alone can irritate your scalp, especially if your skin is sensitive. That's where raw honey comes in. Honey is a natural humectant, meaning it pulls moisture in and locks it there. It also contains powerful antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. A study in the European Journal of Medical Research confirmed that honey reduces scalp inflammation and flaking, which are 2 conditions that make hair loss worse by creating a hostile environment for your follicles. When you combine onion and honey into a cream, you get sulfur delivery plus scalp healing in one application. Here's exactly how to make it. Take 1 medium white or red onion and blend it until it becomes a smooth liquid. Strain the juice through a cheesecloth or fine mesh strainer so you get pure juice with no chunks. You should end up with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of juice. Then add 1 tablespoon of raw, unprocessed honey and mix it until it forms a slightly thick, cream-like consistency. If you want extra nourishment, you can add half a tablespoon of coconut oil, which helps the mixture spread smoothly and adds lauric acid, another compound that supports follicle health. Apply this cream directly to your scalp, not your hair. Use your fingertips to gently massage it in using small circular motions for about 3 to 5 minutes. That massage is important because it increases blood flow to the follicles, which helps deliver the sulfur and nutrients right where they're needed. Leave it on for 30 to 45 minutes, then wash it out with a gentle, sulfate-free shampoo. For best results, use this cream 2 to 3 times per week. Consistency is everything. The sulfur compounds need repeated exposure to your scalp to start making a real difference in keratin production. Most people notice reduced hair fall within the first 3 to 4 weeks, with visible thickening starting around week 6 to 8. Yes, there will be a mild onion smell during application, but it washes out completely. And honestly, that small trade-off is worth it when you see the results. But the next cream on our list takes things to a completely different level. Number 5, coffee and shea butter caffeine cream. You probably start your morning with a cup of coffee to wake up your brain. Well, it turns out that caffeine wakes up your hair follicles in almost the exact same way. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant that penetrates the skin and reaches the hair root within just 2 minutes of topical application. Once it gets there, it does something remarkable. It directly counteracts the suppressive effects of testosterone and DHT on your follicles. A study published in the British Journal of Dermatology found that when hair follicles were exposed to caffeine in a lab setting, their growth rate increased by up to 46% compared to untreated follicles. Even more impressive, a 2018 clinical study in the International Journal of Dermatology tested a caffeine-based topical treatment on people with androgenetic alopecia, which is the medical term for age-related thinning. After 6 months, participants saw a 10.59% increase in the number of hairs in the active growth phase. That might not sound like a lot on paper, but when you're losing hair every day, shifting 10% more follicles into growth mode is a significant reversal. Caffeine works by blocking a compound called phosphodiesterase, which normally slows down hair cell activity. By blocking it, caffeine essentially tells your follicles to keep growing instead of going dormant. Now, here's how to turn this into a homemade cream. Start with 2 tablespoons of fresh, finely ground coffee. Don't use instant coffee because it lacks the concentration of active caffeine compounds you need. Brew a very strong, small batch, about 2 tablespoons of liquid, and let it cool completely. Then mix it into 2 tablespoons of raw shea butter that you've softened by warming it gently with your hands or in a double boiler. Shea butter is the perfect base because it contains vitamins A and E, both of which support scalp circulation and follicle health. Stir until you get a smooth, creamy consistency. You can also add 5 to 6 drops of peppermint essential oil, which has been shown in a 2014 toxicological research study to increase dermal thickness and the number of hair follicles when applied topically. Apply this cream to your scalp in sections, focusing on the areas where you notice the most thinning. Massage it in gently for 3 to 4 minutes using your fingertips, never your nails. Leave the cream on for at least 30 minutes before rinsing. Some people prefer to apply it at night and wash it out in the morning for maximum absorption time. Use this cream 3 times per week for the best outcome. Caffeine's effects are dose-dependent and cumulative, meaning the more consistently you apply it, the stronger the growth signal becomes. Most people report noticeably less hair shedding within the first 2 to 3 weeks, with new growth becoming visible around the 8 to 12 week mark. And remember, this works because it targets the DHT problem directly at the root level, not just on the surface. Now, let's move to something that fights DHT even more aggressively. Before we keep going, make sure to hit like and subscribe. What's coming up next is too important to miss. Number 4, green tea and coconut oil DHT cream. Green tea is one of the most studied beverages on the planet, but most people have no idea that it contains one of the most powerful natural DHT blockers ever discovered. The compound is called EGCG, which stands for epigallocatechin gallate. It's a type of catechin found in high concentrations in green tea leaves, and it has the ability to directly inhibit the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Remember, that's the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT in the first place. If you shut down that enzyme, you shut down DHT production right at the source. A study published in the journal Biochemical and Biophysical Research Communications found that EGCG inhibited 5-alpha reductase activity and reduced DHT conversion rates significantly in human scalp tissue samples. Another study in the journal, Phytomedicine, found that green tea catechins reduced DHT levels by up to 73% in controlled laboratory conditions. Those are not small numbers. That is a major reduction in the exact hormone that is strangling your hair follicles. On top of that, EGCG is a potent antioxidant that fights oxidative stress on your scalp. Oxidative stress damages hair follicle stem cells and accelerates the aging process of your hair. A 2007 study in the Journal of the National Medical Association showed that EGCG extended the growth phase of hair follicles while simultaneously reducing follicle inflammation. Here's how to make this cream at home. Start by brewing 2 bags of high-quality green tea in about a 1/4 cup of hot water. Let it steep for at least 10 minutes so you extract the maximum amount of EGCG. Then let it cool to room temperature. Take 2 tablespoons of organic, unrefined coconut oil and melt it gently. Coconut oil is the ideal carrier for this cream because its lauric acid content has been shown to bind to hair proteins and reduce protein loss from hair strands by up to 39%, according to a study in the Journal of Cosmetic Science. Mix the concentrated green tea liquid into the melted coconut oil and stir until you get a uniform cream. As it cools, it will thicken naturally into a perfect spreadable consistency. Apply this cream to your entire scalp, paying extra attention to your hairline, crown, and temples, which are usually the areas most affected by DHT. Massage it in for 4 to 5 minutes using slow circular motions. This massage step is crucial because it activates blood flow and helps push the EGCG deeper into the follicle. Leave it on for a minimum of 45 minutes. For the strongest results, apply it before bed and cover your head with a soft cotton cap overnight. Use this treatment 3 to 4 times per week consistently. The EGCG needs regular contact with your scalp to keep 5-alpha reductase suppressed. You should start noticing reduced shedding within 3 weeks and early signs of new fine hairs around 6 to 10 weeks of consistent use. And speaking of blocking DHT at the source, the next cream does it on a whole other level. Number 3, saw palmetto and aloe vera scalp cream. Saw palmetto is a small palm plant native to the southeastern United States, and it has been used for decades in natural medicine, specifically to block DHT. In fact, it's one of the most well-researched natural DHT inhibitors in existence. Saw palmetto works by directly binding to 5-alpha reductase, the same enzyme that pharmaceutical DHT blockers target. The difference is that saw palmetto does this without the hormonal side effects that prescription drugs are known for. A 2002 study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine tested saw palmetto extract on men with androgenetic alopecia. After the treatment period, 60% of participants were rated as showing improvement in hair density. A later study from 2012 published in the International Journal of Immunopathology and Pharmacology found that saw palmetto extract reduced DHT activity by approximately 32%, which is significant when you consider it's a plant-based compound going up against a powerful hormone. Another comparative study showed that while the pharmaceutical drug finasteride reduced DHT by about 70%, saw palmetto achieved roughly 32% reduction with essentially zero reported side effects. That makes it one of the best risk-to-reward options available. Aloe vera is the perfect partner for saw palmetto in a homemade cream because aloe contains enzymes that break down dead skin cells clogging your follicles, and it has a pH level very close to your scalp's natural balance. A study in the Journal of Chemical and Pharmaceutical Research confirmed that aloe vera promotes cell turnover and creates an optimal environment for hair regrowth. Here's how to make this cream. You'll need saw palmetto extract, which you can find in capsule form at any health food store or online. Open 2 capsules and squeeze out the extract, which should give you about 320 milligrams of active compound. Mix this into 2 tablespoons of fresh aloe vera gel, either straight from the plant or pure store-bought gel with no added chemicals. Stir it thoroughly until the saw palmetto extract is completely dissolved into the aloe. For an even richer cream, add 1 tablespoon of jojoba oil. Jojoba closely mimics your scalp's natural sebum, so it absorbs quickly without leaving a greasy residue. Its molecular structure actually helps carry the saw palmetto deeper into your skin. Apply this cream directly to your scalp, working it into sections so every area gets coverage. Massage for 3 to 5 minutes with gentle pressure. Leave it on for at least 1 hour, though overnight application gives you the longest absorption window. Wash it out with a mild sulfate-free shampoo. Use this cream every other day for the first 4 weeks, then you can transition to 3 times per week for maintenance. The saw palmetto needs time to accumulate in your scalp tissue and consistently suppress the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. Most users report a noticeable decrease in hair shedding by week 4, with visible thickening becoming apparent around the 3 to 4 month mark. But the next cream on this list might surprise you with just how effective the research says it is. Number 2, pumpkin seed oil and jojoba scalp cream. If I told you that pumpkin seeds could regrow your hair, you'd probably laugh. But the clinical research behind pumpkin seed oil is so strong that it's changed how many dermatologists think about natural hair loss treatments entirely. Pumpkin seed oil contains a unique combination of phytosterols, zinc, and delta-7 styrene, all of which are natural inhibitors of 5-alpha reductase. This means pumpkin seed oil attacks DHT from multiple angles at the same time, unlike most treatments that target just one pathway. The most important study on pumpkin seed oil and hair loss was published in 2014 in the journal Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine. This was a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, which is the gold standard of clinical research. Researchers took 76 men with moderate hair loss and divided them into 2 groups. One group received pumpkin seed oil supplementation and the other received a placebo. After 24 weeks, the pumpkin seed oil group experienced a 40% increase in hair count. The placebo group saw only about a 10% increase. That means pumpkin seed oil delivered 4 times more hair growth than doing nothing. The researchers attributed this to pumpkin seed oil's ability to block DHT while simultaneously providing zinc, which is essential for hair follicle cell division and repair. A 2016 study in the journal Annals of Dermatology confirmed that zinc deficiency alone can trigger significant hair thinning, and pumpkin seed oil is one of the richest natural sources of bioavailable zinc. Here's how to turn this into a powerful topical cream. Start with 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed organic pumpkin seed oil. Cold-pressed is important because heat processing destroys many of the delicate phytosterols that make this oil effective. Mix it with 1 tablespoon of jojoba oil, which acts as a carrier and helps regulate your scalp's oil production, so the the treatment doesn't make your hair greasy. Then add half a tablespoon of raw shea butter and blend everything together until smooth. You can warm the shea butter slightly to make mixing easier, but don't heat the pumpkin seed oil directly. Apply this cream to your scalp in the evening, right after a warm shower when your pores are open and most receptive to absorption. Section your hair and apply the cream directly to the skin of your scalp using your fingertips. Massage each area for about 1 minute using small circular motions, spending a total of 5 minutes covering your entire head. This massage drives the oil into your follicles and boosts microcirculation. Leave the cream on overnight and wash it out the next morning with a gentle shampoo. Sleeping with a towel on your pillow will protect your bedding. Use this treatment 3 to 4 times per week without skipping. Consistency is the key to seeing results because the phytosterols and zinc need to build up in your scalp tissue over time. Based on the clinical study timeline, you should expect to see measurable improvements in hair density starting around the 12-week mark, with the most dramatic results appearing between weeks 16 and 24. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. This is the #1 cream on this entire list. Number 1. Rosemary oil and castor oil hair cream. This is the one I've been saving for you. Rosemary oil is hands down the most scientifically validated natural ingredient for hair regrowth available today. And a study that put it on the map is one of the most remarkable pieces of hair loss research ever published. In 2015, a clinical trial published in the journal Scalp took 100 participants with androgenetic alopecia and split them into 2 groups. One group applied rosemary oil topically. The other group applied 2% minoxidil, which is the active ingredient in the most popular over-the-counter hair regrowth product in the world. After 6 full months, both groups showed a significant increase in hair count. The rosemary oil group performed just as well as the minoxidil group, with no statistically significant difference in results. But here's the game-changing part. The minoxidil group reported frequent scalp itching and irritation as side effects. The rosemary group reported none. 0 side effects from a natural oil that matched the performance of the leading pharmaceutical treatment. Rosemary oil works by improving microcirculation in the scalp, which delivers more oxygen and nutrients to your follicles. It also contains carnosic acid, a compound that helps regenerate damaged nerve tissue and has been shown to promote cellular repair in hair follicles. A separate study in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that rosemary extract inhibited DHT binding to androgen receptors by a significant margin, directly preventing DHT from shrinking your follicles. Castor oil is the perfect companion for rosemary because it's rich in ricinoleic acid, which increases blood flow to the scalp by up to 50% when massaged in, according to research in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology. Castor oil also creates a protective coating over each strand that locks in moisture and prevents breakage. Here's exactly how to make this cream. Take 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed castor oil, which is thick and nutrient-dense. Add 10 to 12 drops of pure rosemary essential oil. Do not use fragrance-grade rosemary oil because it lacks the therapeutic compounds you need. Then add 1 tablespoon of softened shea butter and mix everything together until you get a smooth, rich cream. You can warm the shea butter and castor oil gently in a double boiler to make blending easier. Apply this cream to your scalp every evening as part of your nighttime routine. Section your hair and use your fingertips to work the cream into each area thoroughly. Spend at least 5 full minutes massaging because the massage combined with the castor oil's ricinoleic acid creates a powerful boost in follicular blood flow. Leave it on overnight for maximum absorption and wash it out each morning. Use this cream every single night for the first 8 weeks, then you can move to 5 times per week. Based on the clinical trial, you should start seeing reduced shedding within the first 3 to 4 weeks, with measurable new hair growth becoming visible by month 3. By month 6, you can expect results comparable to what people pay hundreds of dollars to achieve with pharmaceutical products. This is the real deal. And there you have it. Those are 6 homemade creams backed by real clinical research that can help you fight DHT and support real hair regrowth right from your own kitchen. You don't need to spend a fortune. You don't need harsh chemicals. You just need the right ingredients, the right consistency, and a little bit of patience. Pick 1 or 2 of these creams and commit to using them for at least 3 months. Your follicles didn't thin overnight, and they won't recover overnight either. But the science is clear. These natural compounds work. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. I've got a lot more research-backed content on the way that you're going to want to see. Thank you so much for watching.